For more insight on China's relationship with the Philippines, let's bring in Einar Tangen. He's a senior fellow at the Tai-he Institute. Einar, great to see you. Happy New Year.
Great to see you, Elaine.
Well, many agreements signed this week, from trade to agriculture and more. What do you think are the biggest takeaways from this state visit by President Marcos?
Well, 2022 is over and 2023 is starting out with some very positive energy. That was what Xi Jinping said that he wanted to inject into this relationship. And with 14 agreements signed and everything, as you heard, from tourism to trade, opening up fisheries, investment, very important. But in the short term, the idea of having a lot of tourists from China, very important. 2019, China outbound tourism was $256 billion. That may not be a lot for developed countries, but for somewhere like the Philippines, which is suffering economically, this could be a huge game changer.
Well, Ferdinand Marcos Jr., the son of a former president who established ties with China almost 50 years ago. So some history there. But what do we know about this new president's diplomatic approach to China, and what do you think we'll see from him?
Well, he's definitely a balancing thing. A month ago, he hosted Kamala Harris, the Vice President of the United States. There weren't any agreements signed. The readout from the White House was basically, security, and long-lasting relationship, but nothing really, groundbreaking in terms of the economic. That's a big difference. Here, he's talking directly to Xi Jinping after meeting with other senior leaders from the Standing Committee. And it's more or less a state visit. There's a lot on the table, and it's written in writing. So this is something that's, a contrast, let us say. So Marcos, although he's balancing it, he understands that RCEP, Belt and Road Initiative, all of these things are really kind of tipping not only the Philippines, but ASEAN towards China, which, they're the largest trade partners now for each. And this is this is good news. And as I said, very positive for 2023 to have something like this coming forward at a time when many of these countries are really going to be desperate to make economic headway.
I want to delve more into ASEAN in just a moment, but China-Philippine ties have improved in more recent years, starting under the Duterte administration. Where do you think they go from here?
Well, that's the big question. I mean, there's been so much vilification of China on the South China Seas issue, but really the South China Seas issue, if you think about it, it's a regional issue between between China and ASEAN, and unfortunately, it's been used as a kind of a wedge issue. By going forward with these codes of conduct and things like this, China is saying, look, there's a pathway to peace. That would seriously undermine any kind of narrative that the U.S. is spinning that, somehow ASEAN is afraid of China, or that they need to have this AUKUS and Quad in there to protect, quote, these waterways. If, in fact, they're able to settle this, basically it becomes a very peaceful area which is not in need of patrol boats from other nations far, far away.
All right, Einar Tangen, we'll leave it there. Great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us.